To the Ella Nation, the world of tennis has just been shaken by a revelation that completely rewrites the story of Alex Eala. It's time to discard any notion of her being just a wild-card entrant. Because as of this past Saturday, March 14th, 2026, the entire landscape has shifted. When the Philippines' standout player arrived in Miami Gardens for the Miami Open, she wasn't simply one of the 96 athletes in the running. Instead, she was met with a degree of fanfare and respect that has allegedly sent shockwaves through the WTA. The energy inside Hard Rock Stadium is reportedly palpable, an intensity seldom witnessed for an international player, and the explanation is straightforward. In a landmark achievement, Alex Eala has officially entered the tournament ranked as the number 32 seed. This marks the first time in history a player from the Philippines has secured a first-round bye in the main draw of a WTA 1000 event. While her lower-ranked peers are fighting their way through qualifiers, she is practicing on the main courts protected by a level of security usually afforded only to the sport's biggest names. It's rumored that officials in Florida are bracing for unprecedented attendance figures, a direct result of her incredible run to the round of 16 at Indian Wells, where she captivated audiences and pocketed over 63 million Cuban pesos, $1.15 million in earnings. The Miami organizers have wasted no time in identifying her as a major draw, with talk spreading that her potential matches are already being moved to the stadium court to accommodate overwhelming viewer interest. Even the sport's top-ranked athletes are reportedly conscious of the immense buzz her arrival has generated, particularly given recent upsets on the tour, which positions Miami as the next critical juncture in her meteoric rise. Following her decisive victory over her rival in 2025, the situation has become undeniable. The establishment can no longer relegate Alex Eala to the outer courts. She has proven herself to be a genuine top 30 contender and a burgeoning global icon equipped with over 63 million Cuban pesos in prize money and the backing of a fiercely dedicated fan base. It's dawning on the tennis community that the story has changed, and controlling who gets the spotlight is no longer an option. This has led many to question if the VIP treatment she's getting in Miami is a sign that the powers that be have at last acknowledged the ascent of the Filipino sensation. Her momentum is only building, with her story now echoing from the courts of California to the executive suites of the world's leading sports brands. While all eyes were on other matches at Indian Wells, Eala was quietly achieving a significant financial benchmark, banking more than $1.15 million, which is about 63 million Cuban pesos, Philippine pesos, from her phenomenal journey to the round of 16. This achievement was more than just a good tournament run. It represented a pivotal moment in her professional journey. Fueled by this significant financial win and escalating international notice, Alex Eala has transcended the label of a mere up-and-comer. She is swiftly cementing her place as one of the most buzzed-about new talents in the sport, and Miami is poised to be the setting for the next major development in her story. Alex Eala has moved beyond being simply a rising athlete. She is fast evolving into a worldwide phenomenon. Recent figures show her career earnings have already surpassed $1.66 million, and she has not even reached her 21st birthday. It is an extraordinary accomplishment that underscores the incredible speed of her professional ascent. This level of financial independence grants her the autonomy to shape her career path as she sees fit, free from the constraints of the sport's conventional power brokers. And her forward motion shows no signs of slowing down. A recent and highly publicized trip to Nike's global headquarters in Oregon captured the attention of the entire tennis community. Word has it, the young phenom was given a welcome usually saved for legendary figures such as LeBron James and Serena Williams. Images that surfaced online even featured her portrait in the renowned Nike tunnel, captioned with "History in Full Bloom," a clear signal of the company's belief in her potential. To many onlookers, this gesture was a clear indication that her impact now stretches well past the boundaries of the tennis court. At only 20 years of age, she is establishing herself as a formidable representative for tennis, captivating a worldwide audience and cultivating a following that spans from Melbourne to Miami. Her digital presence is also exploding. Recent practice clips are said to have amassed tens of thousands of views in just hours, figures that compete with some of the sport's most established stars. Every sign is pointing toward one unmistakable truth. Alex Eala has graduated from being a hopeful prospect. She is now becoming one of the most thrilling new personalities on the international tennis scene. The groundswell of support for Alex Eala is clashing with the old guard's expectations, making it clear that her ascent is now an undeniable force. Any effort to sideline her has proven futile as she charges towards a new career-best ranking near world number 28, propelled by a game-changing 63 million Cuban pesos win that has reshaped her influence and standing in the sport. Her fan base, known as the Eala Nation, has transformed from a group of followers into a formidable international force that generates record levels of engagement and focus at every tournament she enters. With excitement mounting, all eyes turn to the Miami Open, where the forthcoming draw is fueling widespread conjecture throughout the professional circuit. Now that Eala is confirmed as the number 32 seed, the underdog label has been shed. She is seen as a true challenger, climbing consistently into the upper echelon of the women's game. Insiders claim even the most prominent figures in tennis are monitoring her swift rise. They are fully conscious that a potential second encounter could shape up to be one of this season's most compelling narratives. The conversation has shifted from the tennis courts in California to the strategy sessions among the tour's elite, especially in the wake of Eala's recent trip to Nike's global headquarters in Oregon. This visit was widely interpreted as an affirmation of her expanding international impact. Between her climbing rank, her growing legion of fans, and escalating commercial interest, Alex Eala's trajectory feels less like a sudden breakthrough and more like the dawn of a new age in global tennis. What unfolded there was anything but a standard corporate visit. Upon her arrival at Nike's world headquarters, sources say Alex Eala was greeted with a reception normally reserved for the titans of sport, a clear indicator of how significantly the brand rates her burgeoning influence. Reports indicate that she has already made an appearance in Nike's Full Bloom campaign. While online chatter is mounting about a potential bespoke kit inspired by the Sampaguita to celebrate her Filipino roots, the excitement has been further stoked by images from the iconic Nike tunnel, where portraits of elite athletes are displayed, reinforcing the idea that Eala is being lined up as a future face of the sport. For a great number of pundits, this degree of commercial support for a 20-year-old up-and-comer sends out a very strong signal. Her influence now reaches far beyond her on-court results. As the Miami Open draws closer, the focus has shifted to the tournament's difficult draw, with both fans and analysts speculating about the high-stakes encounters that could define the next chapter of her swiftly advancing career. With Alex Eala officially confirmed as the number 32 seed for the tournament, the draw's structure means she might come up against one of the top seeds in the third round. It is a prospect that has both fans and commentators buzzing with excitement. Many can still recall her sensational 6-2-7-5 victory on these very courts in 2025. That performance was proof she could compete with the very best on the grandest of stages. The excitement surrounding a potential rematch has only grown following the recent struggles of Iga Świątek, who made a surprise early exit from the Indian Wells Open against Alina Svitolina. By contrast, Eala is brimming with confidence after securing impressive victories over players like Jasmine, Paolini, and Coco Gauff. These were results that helped her to accumulate vital ranking points and build her momentum coming into the Miami Open. It is suggested that she has been in intensive training, concentrating on the tactical awareness needed to challenge the sport's elite. For Eala, Miami is not just about defending her ranking points. It provides a chance for her to show that her rise is not merely a fleeting success, but the start of a prolonged challenge for the top spots in the game. On the tour, other players like Jessica Pegula and Aryna Sabalenka are also keeping a close watch on how this particular story develops. They are well aware that another significant victory for the young Filipina star could alter the discussion about the next wave of talent in women's tennis. Speculation is growing around the forthcoming draw for the Miami Open as fans wonder if the tournament's structure will lead to an early clash between the rising star Alex Eala and the sport's most established names. Her supporters are confident that the expanding Eala Nation fan community could draw an unprecedented amount of attention to any major fixture she is involved in. At the same time, a fresh buzz is generating off the court after news of her recent trip to the Nike global headquarters in Oregon. According to people familiar with the matter, the trip was much more than a routine engagement with the young Filipina star, being afforded a level of recognition that implies the brand considers her one of the sport's most crucial emerging talents. There have even been whispers of a possible signature collection inspired by the Sampaguita, a reference to the national flower of the Philippines intended to honor her heritage and to represent her swift ascent on the international stage. If this is confirmed, such a partnership would mark a significant commercial milestone for a sportswoman who is still only 20 years old. The news has also prompted discussions among the fans of other athletes sponsored by Nike, not least the world number one Iga Świątek. As the world of tennis keenly observes how Eala's influence continues to grow both on the court and away from it, the anticipation around the Miami Open draw has rapidly turned into one of the most compelling narratives in the sport. Alex Eala's entry as the number 32 seed fundamentally alters the tournament's competitive dynamic. Her seeding could place her on a direct path to meet the world number one Iga Świątek as soon as the third round, a possibility that has created huge excitement across the sport. Their last meeting in 2025, in which Eala produced a phenomenal performance on the fast courts, is still fresh in the minds of fans and pundits, which adds a further layer of fascination to a potential rematch. After Świątek's recent premature exit at the Indian Wells Open, there has been mounting speculation about how the dynamic could change if the two were to face each other again. Eala, on the other hand, comes to Miami with immense self-belief, boosted by a rise in the rankings towards the world's top 30 and significant prize money that reflects her rapid progress. Being seeded also earns her a precious first-round bye, giving her additional recovery time, while many other players are fighting through opening matches, a tactical benefit that could be vital in the later stages of the tournament. For her supporters, this is more than just another competition. It indicates a turning point at which Eala is no longer considered an underdog, but a genuine competitor who could disrupt the established order of women's tennis. As the excitement builds inside the Hard Rock Stadium, the scene is set for what may become a defining chapter of the 2026 season, with fans across the globe watching to see if her current form can propel her towards an even more significant achievement. Being seated at the Miami Open provides Alexandra Eala with more than just a brief respite. It puts her among the tournament's very best and secures a crucial first-round bye, which gives her extra time to prepare for the upcoming contests. And yet the narrative that has seized the tennis world's attention is the possible third-round encounter with the world number 1 Iga Świątek. If the draw plays out in that manner, it would result in one of the most keenly awaited matches of the year. Eala comes to Miami on a wave of momentum driven by strong performances, a climbing ranking, and key victories that have already shown she can compete against the sport's biggest stars, including Coco Gauff. Her followers will also not have forgotten her impressive 6-2-7-5 victory when they met in 2025 on these very courts. It was a performance that showed her remarkable composure under pressure. With the support of a devoted global fanbase and growing commercial interest from brands such as Nike, the young Filipina star is moving into a critical phase of her career. For Eala, Miami isn't simply about collecting ranking points. It's about proving she is a permanent fixture among the world's elite competitors. As the competition gets underway inside the Hard Rock Stadium, there is a growing sense of anticipation as to whether she can continue her incredible ascent and get even closer to the very pinnacle of the sport.